Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Airsoft, where today I'm going to unbox this JG0451 or V61 Scorpion. Hi guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy my video today, please do like and subscribe. You are really helping me out by doing so. This is an unboxing, and although I have negotiated somewhere to go and show footage of these being fired during my unboxings, unfortunately we are still in the middle of the corona lockdown in the UK, so I won't actually be able to show that today. So this will just be a traditional unboxing of mine, where I just show you what's inside here, let you hear it firing and let you know where it's crowing it out. So this is the JG clone of the Tokyo Marui Scorpion, and it's just one of their little AEP ranges based on the same gearbox as the Mac 10, which is really good, by the way. So the box, I do think JG make relatively nice boxes, just obviously general information about it, and you can see it there on the side. I am a big fan of the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 or COD 4 back in the days on the Xbox 360, and I used to love using this amongst other things. So when you open it up, lift up the lid, get a nice little manual in there, a couple of shooting targets, a little bit of information about various bits and pieces, most of it semi-decently translated into English or English, but nothing too special. Bit of silica to keep it dry, get those out of the way. BBs that I actually say I will use for chronoing with this, because I've actually run out of 0.2 gram BBs, and the ones with JG stuff tend to be okay. And there it is. I love this. Oh, it's cool. It's just cool looking. I love the little drum mags. Unfortunately, you don't get one in this set. It's weighted beyond what you would expect it to be, considering that it's mostly plastic externals. That is far weightier than you would expect it to be. So I'll put that down 2 seconds. Just finish up what's in the box. So you've got a little attachable front rail, which sits on the front there. And I can get it in the right place. Is it the other way around? Might even be further forward. Sits on the front there, and it comes with a screw, and then just screws it in place. So you've got a little front rail there to mount a torch and that kind of thing, which is nice that they, I always like it when they're throwing little accessories. In this box here, lift that out. I have been in here beforehand, and I'll show you why in a second. So we've got the 700 milliamp 7.2 battery, AEP type battery. That's obviously the same as what Marui make. Now, there is a charger, but you'll see that there's no connector on the end, and that's because that charger for me in the UK is pointless. We don't use that. We use the 3-prong system. So what I've actually done is I've cut the cable, and I've actually put a mini Tamiya on the end, just because that's one of the charging harnesses that I got quickly and easily available. It saved me having to solder, and I've made that into a charging holder for the battery, so I can charge this. So this is fully charged now to see what it's like using the included battery, and I've got a Lipo as well. If you are interested, when you cut the wires, the one with all the white markings on the wire, that's actually the red or the live wire, so that needs to go to obviously the red wire on your charger or whatever it is that you're connecting it onto to charge. So that was just one modification that I made, quick and easy. Get that out of the way, and then left in the box is the little screw for the rail, an Allen key which is used for the motor adjustment, which we'll come to in a second, and then you get a little barrel extension. Now this is one, I'll show you why they've put this in here. Just pop that a second, pull that off. Now the standard outer barrel muzzle brake doesn't have any sort of feature to it, it's just a little flat barrel. Obviously if you're wanting to put a suppressor on there or whatever, that's no good to you, so they even give you a little outer barrel to change, and this is the normal negative thread on both elements, so that just unscrews, and out it comes, and the new one screws in and gives you the ability then to add on your suppressor, a tracer unit, whatever you want on the front of it. The fact that that's included is quite a nice little feature for me, and it sort of helps a lot, keeping it you know, a good value package. Get rid of that and move that out of the way for 2 minutes. So here we've got the Scorpion itself. One of the main bits that are metal, the outer barrel, the one I've just taken off, are metal. The sights are metal, and the rear sight can be flipped between 2 different settings. Let's see if you can see that there. So that's one setting, flip it down, and there's the other setting. So you've got a different variety. The stock itself clicks really nicely around the front side, and that's firmly on there. It's not going to come off easily. Give it a good push up and it comes out and it flips over, and you should see here at the back it locks in place. Now there is a little bit of wobble. That's not a terrible, it's not a deal breaker or anything, just something to be aware of, that there will be wobble, and that's pretty standard. I believe the Tokyo Marui one even does the same. Maybe a little bit of tape on it should sort it out in the end. To fold the stock again, you just pinch it together on those 2 points there, and it releases it, and it just folds back over and clicks back on, nice and loudly, so you know it's on there. Next thing we've got, obviously we've discussed the outer barrel. That's a really nice feature that they're giving you, that so you can put on your tracer unit or whatever you want. It makes sure that the barrel is cleared as well, so that you've not got anything catching over there. The little charging handle, which is ambidextrous, which is quite cool, comes back and it gives you exposure to the hop. Now, that is well in there. I've got quite big fingers as it is, and I can imagine with gloves on, that's really not going to be easy at all. So it's something to be aware of, that you're not going to be able to easily set the hop unless you've got small hands, or you're basically going to have to take your glove off. So I can't see people particularly messing with a hop mid-game, but it's something to be aware of. Next, I've got the mag. I didn't realise at first, and I'll come to a comment that one of my subscribers made about information about this, but I didn't realise that this was a high cap at first, and it was only when I realised, based on his comment, which I've got written down there to comment on in a minute, and looking in the manual, that is a teeny tiny little high cap. That is like the cutest little high cap I've ever seen. So the little hatch is at the front there. Drop that open, put your BBs in, and you got your little winding wheel at the back. That's pretty damn awesome. I do love that. I believe it's between 70 and 100 rounds. Now, the subscriber Johnny, I apologise if I've not said that correctly, said he reckons it's about 70 BBs, which is probably right actually. It's probably around 70 BBs. And he did say that it does require a lot of turning to keep it wound. It doesn't last very long, which, based on the size of the winding wheel, must be a tiny little spring in there. I'm not surprised that it's not going to last very long. So that's the mag. It is made out of metal. It does look really well cast metal, nicely assembled and things. We'll see how that gets on at a later time. Coming back, you've got a metal trigger guard going around here. You've got a metal trigger, which is a little bit spongy on safe. And when you put it into one of the firing modes, hopefully you can hear that. It is pulling on the connecting with the contacts. If you own a Scalextrics, that when you pull that trigger, you get that like almost metal on metal squeaky sound. That's what it sounds like. Fire selector, then you've got safe in the middle, you've got single shot to the right, and you've got full auto off to the left. And you've got a nice formed pistol grip there that actually sits really nice to the hands contoured. Edges are a little bit rough on the trigger guard, which if you've not got gloves on might rub on your hands a little bit, might want a little bit of sanding. Overall, the selector and the pistol grip are comfortable and easy to use. The selector clicks into place really nice and solidly, which is good. It means you're not going to, it's going to take some force to knock it out of whatever firing mode you want. I'm happy with that so far, and I'm like, the more I'm holding it, the more I'm liking this. This is really not good for me because I need to get rid of these things, not keep them. So to get into the battery, then you're just going to twist this on the end, and it releases this end, and it comes up and out. Now if you flip it over, there's a little arrow indicating going forward that way, and that relates to the little arrow on here. And if you can tell, there's like it's pointed around this end and square off at that end, so that's just make sure that you get that in the right direction. So we'll do a test fire with this in. To get the battery back out, there is a little pull-up lever here. It's a bit fiddly to get hold of, but you pull it up a little bit and then pull, and it exposes your battery for you. So I have got the NIM type battery in here. We'll put this in and we'll see what this sounds like. So safe, single shot. It's not bad, it's not amazing, it's steady away, it's what I was expecting. We'll go to full auto. Clear it back down. It's okay, it's not terrible. You're probably going to get a few mags out of it. It definitely, if you're running this as a primary, you're definitely not going to last a whole day. You're going to find charging this either after every game, or maybe not even that, depending on how trigger happy you are. I'm very trigger happy. So I'll get the Lipo. So for the Lipo, what I've got here is I've got the AP Lipo that I run in my Glock. So this is a iPower Lipo micro battery. So it's 680 milliamp. It's not quite as high a milliamp as that, but it should last a lot longer because it's powering the gun better. So this is a 7.4 volt Lipo. Now, if I remember correctly, pretty sure that goes in that way. So this adapter that I've got, oops, daisy. The adapter I've got is actually the Tokyo Marui adapter. So they actually make, it's the other way by the looks of it, they actually make an adapter, it is the other way. So if your battery, your little Lipo, is marked with a red terminal, which mine is, it goes in to the bottom, to this side, so the red is on this side, okay? So now we've got effectively something that sits in the same footprint as that, exact same footprint as that. So we'll drop this into here, matching the terminals up. And it is a little bit more snugger fit. Now I'm wondering if, I can see that there is a red wire down there. I'm just wondering if that's catching on this, because it won't actually, oh there we go. So I'm going to fold that in, and there is room inside the adapter there for that to sit inside the actual framework of the converter. And then I'm going to drop that back in place. So this is on the Lipo, so we'll go single shot. You can hear it instantly. It's a lot snappier, it's a lot crisper, it's turning over much quicker. We'll go to full auto. That's obviously much better. It's being powered a lot quicker by it. As you would expect it to be, the Lipos are providing the power a little bit better. If you are going to run this as your primary, you're probably going to need either a couple of those or some means to charge it after a little while. Again, it should get you 5, 6, maybe even as many as 8 mags fed through it, possibly a little bit more. But after that, you're going to need to recharge it, or you're going to need another battery. So just to comment, when I did the unboxing, the £900 order unboxing, this was in that order. And one of the subscribers, Jani, again, I apologise if that's said wrong, made a few comments about it, which I said I would put into the video. So he said stock range out of the box, he was getting about 20 to 25 metres. He said it wasn't amazing. Said that he put a 138mm Crazy Jet, I'm guessing that's barrel, and a flat hop in it, and he was getting about 40 metres out of it after that, which is a massive improvement, and that's sort of competing with a normal AEG. He did say that if you convert to running it with a Lipo, which, beg pardon, let's pop this out, I assume it means that you don't even use one of these adapters, you actually just take it to use an actual Lipo in there. There is room to fit a tiny little MOSFET, so maybe like a gate Pico or something like that, just a little MOSFET just to sharpen it up a little bit more, which, you know, the intention is I'm not going to keep this anyway, so I'm not going to mess with that, but if the new owner wanted to do so, I'm sure that'd be not too massive a job to do. He also said that obviously he made the comment about that being about 70 BBs and that he had to turn the wheel a lot. He said he bought some of the JG drum mags. Now I love the drum mags, I do like the look of the drum mags, and he said they were really bad and that after one use the I'm pretty sure he said like the feeding lip or part of the system that keeps it in just completely shattered off. So it's something to just be aware of, that there may be some quality control issues with some of the little bits and pieces. But then I can't see somebody buying this and running it as their primary. This is the kind of thing that you buy and run as a little plinker that maybe having some sort of pouch, you know, like a dump pouch or something on your belt, and you're just pulling it out for fun or CQB fun. It's definitely not something that's going to be your primary, or I wouldn't normally expect it to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this battery back in it, I'm going to stick some 0.2 gram BBs in this, and I'm going to go and chrono it, and we'll see where we stand. So I am back from the chrono, escaping BB as per usual. I'm sure like me, once you get into Airsoft, you find these things absolutely everywhere, even in places where you didn't think you'd find them. So just get those out of the way. Now, JG must be doing something right with this, because I've been really impressed. I wasn't expecting it. So this is averaging sort of a 10 FPS range. So the lowest I got was 272 FPS, and the highest I got was 282 FPS. So I'm actually really impressed that that's stable for a new spring, new gearbox assembly, and I would expect it to settle probably towards the lower range, but that's really decent, especially considering like the Well R4 MP7 clone was like sort of 220 to be knocking up towards 300 FPS, that's really good. It might just be a little bit of compression or something like that, and you might be able to knock it up a little bit further. So I'm quite impressed with that. I can say that it is probably around 70 rounds in that, but it did feed probably about 20 rounds and then needed sort of winding again at the very most. I found that on full auto it fed a few, missed a few, fed a few, missed a few. Maybe it'll bed in over time, maybe it's just too small to run as a high cap, but it fed okay as long as I kept it wound, and I was quite happy with that. And so I did feed 2 sets of BBs through it and stuff. You know, it is a cool little sidearm. It's something that you know will work all year round. You're not relying on gas temperatures and things like that. So if you are looking for a sidearm that's a little bit better than just a gas pistol, maybe you're wanting to go for some sort of Russian type loadout and you're wanting a little SMG, you know, maybe this is the choice for you. Maybe get a few of the drum mags, maybe try and source the Tokyo Marui ones instead, because you know they're going to be better quality. Or hopefully there will be anyway. It is a cool little sidearm. For me personally, as cool as it is and as nostalgic as I'm feeling towards you know, the old COD 4 and how much I used to like using it in that, it's not really going to be for me. I think this is not going to be one that I end up keeping. It is cool though, don't get me wrong, it definitely is cool. The little battery, I'm sure convinced these used to be only 500 milliamp. The fact that that's 700 now makes me feel it's going to last a little bit longer. I could be wrong, but I'm sure they used to be 500. Maybe I'm just confusing it with the smaller ones out of the pistols. The Lipo is definitely the better option though, if you're going to run these as stock without messing with the internals and stuff like that. So I will leave the usual photos straight after this. I hope this has been helpful. Please do like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.